Okay, folks, here we go again. The Mad Dog MD-80 Rotate X-Plane 12.05 full release. In today's flight, we're going to depart Las Vegas and proceed on to our final destination, Los Angeles International, LAX. I thought I'd do this video again. The last one wasn't too good because I wasn't all that familiar with it. I want to try to show as many things as possible. First, starting off, this is my favorite livery. Why those are deployed? Odd. I like the dirty look, the grungy look, the oil, the grease, the wear and the tear, the old school Delta. Okay, let's jump in. And first thing I'll do is change from kilos to pounds. And I'll look at my flight plan here. My fuel load for this is 15. 315. Probably could have rounded that off. The payload, 25,800. And the trip, not including taxi, 5273. Very important you enter all this stuff. And then I'm going to have ground power unit and air conditioning. I'll go ahead and get some air going. Because it's hot in Vegas, about 99 degrees. Open the door, cargo doors, and we can go ahead and load like this, and then go to expedite, and that's done. So we can move on to other things. Battery check. External power check. External power available.
Autopilot.
Now this here, the position light, you go all the way down. The strobes don't work when it's on the ground. Kind of handy. I like that. We can turn up we have floodlights and panel lights. Turn those up. One down here. Turn that up. Got one under here. Turn this up. And one over here. I always like my panel lights up as high as I can get them. I do like the color background. Some people say it's a little bit ugly, but I kind of like it. I like the worn look. I think it's pretty cool. Turn these up. And it comes ready-made with terrain radar. That's pretty cool. All right, next thing I like to do, check the date, make sure everything's current. Reference airport. And align. Copy and paste, just like before. And while we're waiting on that, top down, go all the way up. All circuit breakers in, left to right, norm, norm, norm. Test, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Norm, norm. Off.
Glide
check.
slow. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Sync rate.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Off, off, off.
Go. Go. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Yaw damper on. And a skid arm. Test right works. Lieutenant call. To fan. Auto off. Lights test. And Los Angeles is 120 feet. And the weather. (3001). Pressurization checks. Whoops. And check all the voltages, amps. Looks good. On, off, on. Auto, open, galley power. Don't need that. That does work. Off. Armed, on. Check all probes except for TAT. Good. Windshield, good. Off. Got good flow. Cabin temperature. Satisfied with that. Flight director. I like 250. Keep moving around here. You can drag it too, like this. Or just spin the wheel. Uh, 079, we're taking off on 8, I believe. Oh yeah. Reference pitch, 2,000 feet a minute. Top of climb on this departure is 19,000. Off. Definitely going to do D-rate, so flip that. Flex, I estimated 48 based on the last calculation, so we'll go with what I want is 8.5. 1.85, which puts me at 45. Long runway, 14,000 feet. We're going to use the full length of it. And mark the altitude. 45, 19,000, heading hold, vertical speed. Uncaged, still aligning. Oxygen, can't test it. Avitab does work. A little slow today. Oh, we lost our. I'm gonna have to log in again. Well, that's still working. Oh, there it is. Internet must be slow today. All right, we're parked at D gates. We're going to taxi. Probably get out here on Charlie 5, take Bravo all the way. We could actually get on here if we wanted to, or just taxi all the way around, use the full length of this runway. This is the landing point, but you can actually take off from back here. Gives us more than enough runway. Now, for that matter, I could actually take off here if I wanted to. I know I could. All right. Route, pretty simple. Bravo, Lima, Alpha, Quebec, Coat, Sierra, Hotel, Tango, November, Romeo. And that's it. departure. 08 left on the Raider 2. Good. Arrival. Oh, it'd help if I put the destination in there, wouldn't it? And flight number. Let's try that again. Oops. Two 4 right from Circus. Angelina 4. Shatner. All right, let's go ahead and put that in there. 28,000 feet on this one. Winds 168 at 12. I'm sure that's not current, but last reported. Plus 12 ISA deviation. Cost index 200. .4 on the reserve. And this automatic, since I've already loaded, this automatically does everything. Boink, boink, done. Execute that. All right, fuel use, let's go. Test. And we're looking at 103.8. And 19,126, that's good. 76.58 each tank. All right, say we're loading right about now. Package is almost on. Passengers are loading. I like to power the APU up at the last minute. Okay, now next thing, flaps. Normal flaps are 11. CG on this one is showing outside air temperature 45, and this also enters automatically, but I use my own speeds on this one, 132 based on flex, 135 and a 139. 15. Actually 15.8. Now we'll go 15. Before I forget. And I like to go ahead and set my flaps prior to push out. We're only going 11. And I'll dial 23 for landing flaps initially. That's norm. That's usually the normal way to do it. slats, followed by okay. Now there's 3 ways you can move this thing around. You can use a suitcase, use this as an alternate. Then you can use your thumb. And just line them up. Config check.
Brake.
Okay, you can also, this is your pressurization. Automatic, valve open, you can move this around. This works by itself. Transponder. I don't like the transponder. I like the push button. I'd say would be 2215. And put it on TA. Now we're not going to have any X chatter in this flight. All right, that pretty much completes all that. Now I'm going to show you something about the auto brakes and the arming of the speed brakes. We're going to do a little test here while we're taxiing. Okay, bugs are set. Patches are loaded. CG is good. Let's go ahead and close it up, get the APU going. Get rid of that. Start the APU. You don't need the start pump when you're running external power to start up the APU. Oh, you do need the battery on. See, that's sideways. Second time I've done that. There she goes. Let's go outside. All right, verify we got it. APU power. Off, on, off, on. Dismiss, dismiss. APU air on. Aft pump on so I don't cavitate. Pushback plan. See if we got one. Come straight back, and then we'll turn left.
Grounded cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Grounded cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, seatbelt signs on. Rotating beacon comes on. All lights on, except for the taxi light. Make sure all the doors are closed. Personnel's out of the way, equipment's removed. Here comes the tow. Pretty simple. I'm going to take off runway heading, and I'm going to do a right-hand turn once I get to a safe height. Start cleaning it up to around 3,000 feet.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And we'll fly the map. You can have the terrain radar on. That's not a radar, that's a map mode, so you can have that on. Now this little light here tells me I haven't armed the, I selected it, but I haven't armed it. There's a little switch down here you gotta flip. But I leave it off. Sometimes I don't ever use it. Make sure anti-skid's on. It is.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Turn TCAS on right here. And like always, turn your bleeds off. Packs. Check your pressure, at least 36. We'll start on B today. All pumps on. Start pump on, or valve. Get about 20, let it have it. N2 coming up, oil pressure, keep an eye on that. See it working up here? Right about there. And watch it closely. Let's see exhaust gas temperature, EPR, transfer over to the generator, hydraulics. Good start. Close it. Start one. Watch it spool up. Watch that little number right there. Pressure. Right about there, 1920. Gauge it. NGT. Transfer. Oil pressure. Good start. Off, off, and this is optional. I leave it off, or on both for takeoff, depending on the weather. Flaps set, if you haven't done it already. Trim set, if you haven't done that already. Circuit breakers all in. Door closed and secure, seatbelt signs on. This is the only light you should see. No, no. Art, yep. No, and no. Just look for the word no. No, and no. No electric faults.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
All right.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Let's put the bleeds back on. It's getting hot. Well, you never forget it on a day like today. Flight recorder off, parking brake on, arc switch inoperative.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Okay, we don't need this, don't need this, don't need that, don't need that. We need all this. And let's do a control check. Full left. Look outside here. Full right. Full aft. Full forward. Right rudder. Left rudder. Taxi light on. Now don't arm this yet. Well, actually, let's arm it. See if this works. Clear right, clear left. I'm gonna go just straight ahead.
Brake. Boiler.
Okay. Disarmed. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go ahead and arm this again. Go ahead and arm this. That's our config check. One way to do it. Advance it very slowly. Get going forward first and then start your turn. Just be easy on the throttle. We'll go down here and make a first left and get on Bravo. Around 45 into 48, get it going. Then back it off a little bit. I changed the sound background. I went to the lighter or quieter version. There's the standard, there's the loud, and then there's the quiet. A little bit of XP realistic, active sky mixed in there with it. And there it is, Las Vegas. A hot and hazy day. Also, once you get started up and everything, you don't need these on. Turn those off. Pneumatic X feed, cross feed. Once you get it going, it rolls pretty good. Just getting it going, you have to really goose it. And I'll go back to, let's see, where am I at here? Clear to cross, clear left, clear right. Let's go to idle here. Just coast on through. X-Plane needs to do something about this. I can barely see the yellow line. more runway. And we'll loop around and get on the very, very beginning of it. Alright, clear left, clear right, clear across. We could get on right here if we wanted to. I'll just go all the way around. Right there's the beginning. But you can get on it this way too. It's according to the map. We'll coast here. Line up. Let me go ahead and start the clock. Get rid of this. Two-man job. Let's drive it back on the center line. Power up to about 1.4. More and engage it, and off we go. Power set. $80 knots. One, rotate, up to about 15, positive rate, gear up, select nav, close that. I didn't activate the brakes, I always forget that. And start gradually bring it down about 10 degrees, just above that. Let it speed up a little bit. Okay, select climb power once we get about a certain height here. Slowly bring it down. Slowly, slowly. Clear left. Well, I gotta make a right turn. Clear left, clear right, turn right. Hold about 10 degrees. Slats only. Speed check. He wants to pitch down a little bit. Bring it back up. And clean it up. And that's right, close enough. Autopilot. Vertical speed, leave it where it's at for now. Actually drop it down to 1500. Turn that off. I don't know why I even bother with it. And we're above 200 knots. Let her slowly speed up. Approaching 210, 220. Disarm that. And Jump over here and put this on low. This can go off. Taxi light off. And we are on nav track vertical speed. There's our target speed, close enough. Let's go for that. Indicated airspeed, 250 knots, right on the nut. EPR climb. Lights off, except for nav, rotating beacon, strobe. 10,000 feet, let's go back to V speed. 1,500 feet per minute. I'll go about 287. Oh, what's it call for? 296. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, forgot about this. can shallow the bank out to 15 if you want, or 10, 15. It won't do it right away. Also remember to stow this back where you found it when you're done with it. Engine sync on number 1. Don't know if it works or not. Transition. All lights out. $28,000. Check. We're almost there. You also have magnetic true. ADF. Floor lights. Alternate air. Floods. Comes in handy at night. Outside, here's where it lacks. Needs to be a lot louder. Put some roar in there, for God's sakes. What was this I put in here? I put in the... Let me look this up real quick. It's called the MD-80 Pro Cockpit Sound Immersion, Volume 2, X-Plane 12. You can get it on X-Plane 12. It's for $15.90 sound, and you have 3 options with it. There's actually 2. There's immersive, and there's another one that's not quite as impressive. I haven't tried them all yet. All right, above 25,000, 26,000, we're going to go ahead and go to Mach speed 0.71, and we're targeting 0.732 for now. All right, I got that marked. Very important you pay attention to this little panel right here so you know what you're doing. This is your altitude. This is the power setting, APR climb, confirmed. We're on nav track, not VOR, and we're at Mach speed above 26,000 feet. I like this little dot speed little thingamabob. If you're going too fast and too slow. Well, you're not really going too slow. You're just going slower than what you target, or faster. 27, let's go to V speed. Drop it down to about 900 feet a minute. Check. See, our speed slowly increases close to our target speed. Try to get a relatively close transition. All right, let's go ahead and go to vertical nav. And level at 28 at 0.732. Now let's go to the cruise page. 58 to go, and we start heading back downhill. Progress page. 9.9. Next page. Headwind 16 knots. Direction 160. 026 degrees. Crosswind component 21 knots. True airspeed 436. Left tank use 2.1. Right tank use 2.1. Almost right on. How close are we? Pretty close. It's because I didn't run the APU that long. Total use 4.2. Fuel economy calculator, we got 11.11. 11.11. Does this work? I said push it. I don't know. Probably not. All right. In a few minutes, we'll start heading back downhill. We're 140 out from LA. See if we can hear it. One of these days, what I got to do is do some old school flying. This is a perfect ship for it. Using VOR ADF only, no GPS. I'll still have this in, but I'm going to do radio navigation. I'm going to have to come up with some old school flight plans. I have to dig them up. So a lot of VORs aren't around anymore. Find some old airways or make it up. And leave this in this mode the whole way. Welcome to my world. My world. That came out right. Oh, I left it on. That's okay. Not a long flight. Now, LA localizers have a long reach. I'm going to try to get on that as soon as possible. They're about 25 miles out, 30 miles or so. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll do a flight from LA to Phoenix, old school. VOR only. Radar vectors. It's like riding a bike. Once you've done it, you never forget. I think it was a thing called Traffic Global. You had a radar screen that could pop up so you could play air traffic controller and see where you're at and steer yourself on final. It's pretty challenging. This too much clutter with all this. I glance every now and then, see what's around. If I'm looking for a VOR. All right, let's see. 28,000. I want to get this thing down to around 5,100. Try to intercept the localizer prior to that, and then I'll probably go to V-speed and try to get on glide slope. Got to be careful about that though. You got to watch the profile. You really shouldn't trust it till you get down to this point right here at Kobe at 2,200 feet. So I'll trust the vertical nav. And what I think I'll do, I'll see how far down I can get this thing. The auto land does not work. I thought by now they'd have figured out how to get that to work. There's no auto land. However, even though I'm on single channel, theoretically, I'm going to bring this thing down almost to 50 feet before I cancel and flare and land. Definitely a Cat 2. However, don't use the auto throttle below 1,000 feet. It lags. So with a little practice, I'll use the throttle. I'll let the airplane fly the slope in the lateral and vertical. I'll control the speed. We'll see how close we can get it. All right, 5,100. vertical nav on our way down. You can always stop your descent anytime by pushing altitude. Right there, altitude hold. Wherever you're at, she'll stop. I was supposed to have this in cruise. It's all right. Now she's slowing down. About 4 nautical miles to go. We're running about 41. Not too bad. All right, there it goes. You see the switch? Does a pretty good job. Now we're a little fast. That's okay. And this does these calculations automatically. I add 5. And down we go. I gotta check something real quick. Keep an eye on it. Okay, where was I? 282. A little over 2,000 feet a minute. A little bit fast. Right on profile. $79 out. All right, back to work. All right, first things first, let's turn this off. Second, let's turn these back on. High. High, high. I think you gotta have that one on too. Brakes are good. All right. Altimeter is 3001. Check. Field elevation, check. Pressurization's okay, not bad. Working good. And go ahead and go around the bullpen right here. Doink. Don't want to forget that. Auto brakes would be medium. And you can't arm those until you've got the gear down and your flaps are in landing config. That's 28 to 40. And never arm your speed brakes until the gear's down. Although I have done it, nothing happened, but it's a bad idea. Make sure your wheels are down, your flaps are landing config, then arm your speed brakes and your auto brakes if you choose to use them. Most of the time I don't. I like to roll it down the runway quite a ways and spare the brakes, the wear and tear. All right, 1,000 to go, approaching transition. Altimeter set. And we're 64 out. On profile. Speed 282. Now this one, I didn't even pay attention. They say as you get lower and lower, you burn off more fuel. As this goes down, these numbers go down, even with the correction. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on that. We're not going to burn that much anyway. We're in descent. .73 degrees. Normally in a school out there, I don't do a runway calculation landing distance. Get more than enough. It's only on hot days when it gets up in the upper 80s and 90s. I'll bring this little gizmo out here and fill all that in. Just to get an idea how much runway I'm going to use, how much I need. And this, by the way, is for the MD-82, so I had to tweak a little bit. But it works, roughly. Not off that much. Power settings differ. Plus there's the weight and drag mostly. A little bit of turbulence as we get lower over these mountains. I don't know if it has wing flex. I could have swore there was wing flex in this one. I don't see it. Except for color background, the textures are about the same as before. Really not that important. I mean, you can see the rivets. It's not that bad. I'd expect to see a little more flex out there, though. "12,000 feet. 43 to go. We're 44 out from the localizer. That's a marker beam. That's probably Ontario. Over Ontario. Just a guess. And we're coming in pretty fast. So let's go ahead and play around with this. About 1/2. Picking up the localizer. All right. Still a little too far out. All right, we're getting close to the 10,000 foot mark. Let's start lighting things up here. Actually, believe it or not, you get a little bit of drag with the lights too. A little bit. Out there on the tip of the wings. All right, 250, 10,000. Looks good. Not bad. Don't need those. Stowed. Below 280, let's go slats. Keep the drag in there. Still getting fast. Let's go 11, still below 280. Thing is built like a tank. All right, there's the close enough. Let's go ahead and lock into that. And we're 32 out. "36 minutes since I started the clock." Just below the glide slope. Still on VNAV. We got localizer. The closer we get, the more accurate it gets. Probably could have flown this at 250, but I'll go 240. Got it. Glide slope. See it shift over? We're right to GS track, localizer track, so we're on glide slope. All right, we're 24 out, and they're asking us to slow to 210. No problem. Slowing to 210. Flaps 11 should bring us down. If not, I'll go to 15. Well below 280. It slowly, slowly slows down. $20 to go. Seatbelt signs on, landing lights on, all lights on. Go around set. Auto brakes preset to medium. Landing lights on. Cam pressurization is good. Oh, there's the city. Get a look at that. Downtown. I like what X-Plane did with the cityscape. Is that Dragnet? Dun, 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 dun. Guess that's the city hall. Downtown. All right, we're going about 15 out. They'd like us to slow to 180. It's usually 170 within 5 miles. Up to 5 miles. We'll go 180. Let it slowly bleed off. Hey, we can barely see the runway way out there. 14.8 DME on glide slope. And give a little help. Flaps 15. Speed check. And I have the runway barely in sight. A little bit hazy today, getting below this cloud bank. It's all right, we're going to practice the Cat 2. All right, they'd like us at 170 at this point. There's a reason why I set that 23 in the dial flap. I'm going to do that in a minute here. Slowly slowing down. All right, we're approaching the landing gear point. 2600. All right, wheels down. Three green. Armed. Flaps 23. Speed check. Speed 160. If I try to arm these, it won't arm until I go to 28. I don't want to do that yet. See how it lags on the speed? All right, flaps. Speed check 25 and slow to 140. And I should be able to arm it now. Ditto. All right. Now I'm going to get off this auto throttle. I get a flashing light. I got to adjust it. Bring that speed down. Speed check. Flaps 40. And she'll slow down pretty quick. I always lose that headwind at the last minute.
$1,000.
Check. About 1.2 on the EPR 4954. I gotta get that sync better. There we go. Getting slow. Throttle up. Yeah, losing that headwind. How low can I go? Low, all the way down, almost where it touches. Getting slow again. Goose it. You can barely read that airspeed indicator. It's a real pain in the ass. I'm gonna stay right around those two little dots right there. Ease it back, ease it back.
400.
Getting fast. Back to 1.24.
300.
1.25.
200. 100.
Autopilot.
50. 40. 30.
And ease the
20.
power back. Nice and easy. Try to hold that nose off. Hold that nose off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it down. Let the nose come down real easy. Real easy. Then engage the reverse thrust. And you don't even need to do anything. That's the auto brakes. Wow. So that's why I don't use them. I think that's too extreme. All right, let's get off the runway. Auto brakes work well. A little too good. I probably should have set it at minimum. Still the brakes. And throttle back to idle. See the light goes on, that's when I touch the brakes myself. I just tapped them. Like that. Alright, lights off. Get off the runway and clean it up. Contact ground. We're here. Clear to cross, clear left, clear right, continue rolling. Flaps coming up. And roll along here. Stop the clock. 46 minutes. Not bad. Idle. Tap the brakes. And we can go ahead and shut these off too. Bring this back on. We're going to need it. Make a U-turn right here. Head for the gate. Flight director off. See, at the last minute there, it wanted to turn. I don't know why I did that, but I got down to 100 feet. That's not bad. Put this off of no mode. And now that back to 100. Transponder TA only. Radar's off. Landing lights off. Strobe shuts off automatic. Alright, did I turn the APU on? No, I did not. Gonna need that. Don't need that. Oh, somebody's in my gate. No, oh, do I have one? Yeah, I got one. This guy's right where my parking spot. I don't like this whiteness here. This shade is not working. As far as X-plane goes. Don't like it at all. Sometimes you can't even see the taxi line. .33 Alpha, that's my spot. Taxi light off. What's that sound? Sound like an alarm clock. Right about, guesstimate, there. Brake. And air. Gotta have air. Lights. Off, off, off. Nav only. Logo off. Flight director off. Thrust panel off. Trim. Pretty close where it's at. Bring it up a little bit. Hydraulics. Off, 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 off. Brakes look good. Didn't smoke them. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. Probably should have set it there. That was like maximum braking. I didn't have to do nothing. So there it is, folks. The MD-80 rotate, next plane 12. Is it worth it? I don't know. For me, I had no choice. I just did the upgrade. I only paid the 25 something. I didn't buy the whole new one, and I kept what liveries I want. It will. You can always take your liveries that you already had and move them over. So I kept Allegiant, Delta old, Delta new, American. I don't know why that's moving. Something down here. Maybe a loose connection. Well, what helped? Let's see. Let's do this. Got to do everything. Gate. Could open a door from inside. And turn these on. Turn that off. Turn that off. Off, off, everything off. Even the yaw damper. I guess that's close enough to turn around. Let me out of here. Well, the frame rates are a little better than what they have been. I've had some pretty bad luck here at this airport, frame rate wise. Right now it's running at 29 and 30. Not too bad. Down about 28, 29 there. Now it's kind of a mixed bag, sound-wise, XP realistic, weather-wise, active sky. I turned down the weather a little bit on it. I think it was a little bit too extreme, too much turbulence. So I kind of dialed it down. Easy view, command, PFD, more. What? I don't care. So that's that. So next flight, I'm going to try the old way, like I'm flying a DC-9 with VOR. There aren't too many NDBs around anymore, or ADF, so it's going to mostly just be a VOR to VOR. I'll come up with something. I'll look for some old J routes, get the maps out again, and basically flat by the seat of my ass. Now what I did do, it sounds, I'm not using an X-plane environment. And let me show you why. Hold on, let me get inside here. Let's shut everything down. Everything off. That off? Can never tell where that's at. Hard to tell. Auto, off, 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 off. I think I got most of it. Okay, let's go into this thing here. Oh, close the doors. Let's close the doors up here. Actually, close this one first. And then close this one. Then go back in here. I don't notice it so much in the Z-Mod, but let's say I turn this up. Environment. That's not going to work for me. Even if it's a little bit on, it's annoying. Try it down here. It's like it doesn't respect the fact that you're inside or outside. I'll go back down here. Anyway, I'm not going to use it. Not for this one. And the Z-Mod is okay. So there's that. Yeah, there's a few shortcomings of it. Like I said, watch out arming the speed brakes. Especially when you do your config check and you go, eh. Of course, it won't do that now. And also happens here too. If you arm this and you do a config check and you get going and you bring the things back, sometimes the brakes can lock up on you. It's done that to me a couple times. Just a few little things like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Next stop, Phoenix. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.